Oh, yeah. There we go. Kobe Lee Warren. What's up, buddy? What you know good, Johnny?
Brother, I know fishing is really getting good. I'm
there.
Yes.
It's getting there in some areas. I've been on Miller's Ferry here staying at Joe Allen's place. He let me stay down here during this outage, and I'll be kind of nosing around. It's amazing, John, how I was telling you before the show, I'm catching one good fish here and there, but I guess when the water temperature drops, they just find each other is all I'm assuming, and go to feeding. So crazy. So
it gets to pushing that bait around and
right.
Centralizes them.
Right. I caught one, two, just a handful of fish. They were good fish. And, but hey, it's coming. These river systems are like that. So,
yeah. I mean, a river system will always throw you for a loop.
Oh, man, what you talking about?
Yeah. A lake, you can bounce around on the lake and hit the flat, hit the channel edge, shallow stuff. And eventually, if you look hard enough in the day on a lake, you can find something. But, that river system, you'll just be like, golly, what happened?
It's crazy. Yeah, because I looked on the main river. I looked up in some creeks. But I know, I've been going in the evening after work, and it's not the opportune time to really do it because I like those fish when they first come up in the mornings and start running a little bit. But, heck, I just going out there really looking around, covering some water. But heck, man, there's people tuned in on Big Ray's on here. Greg, Keith Spencer, Wade Cole. Tim Maddox said he got him a limit this morning. Bankhead said it was jumping. I know it's probably cooling off up there some. So Jordan Hauser's on here. Jess, he tuned in. So appreciate Jess. Roger Brown. So I guess you got to go fish a couple times when you got back from Virginia, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Got something interesting for us to talk about. Something we talked about in the past. We were kind of wondering how it would go. Everybody had the big lithium battery craze, there in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There were some companies that jumped out in the beginning. You had Miller Tech, you had Dakota Lithium. That was some of the bigger names that really started it off. And those batteries were very expensive in the beginning. They still are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's cheaper.
Jessica and I got home from our trip, and the first thing I did was hook the boat and go get on the water. I get out there, and my trolling battery, it's only showing, that one battery is working. And they're Dakota Lithium. I have two Dakota Lithium 100 amp hour batteries, and only one's reading 13 something, and one's, when I stabbed it with the multimeters, at like 3.4. So, they advertise, I think it's a 10-year warranty. So I wait till Monday, and anyway, I go out again, and Monday is same issue, not working right. And I go out, I get back, and I call them, and I'm like walking through everything. I've got my multimeter laid out. I'm ready to do anything they ask. And so the guy that's troubleshooting with me, we stab that battery, and then we put a charger on it. He said, check how the charger's charging, and it's still failing, So we're about to get to test that warranty out.
Because I know Eric said he sent a couple of Militechs back, but he uses the heck out of his, but really haven't heard anybody sending any back. So
they're sending me a battery charger that also has a tester in it to try to look at that battery, and they after that, it'd be a warranty claim, and I have to give them proof of purchase, which I've already got, and I'm going to send to them. Yeah. So we talked about in the past, some of these companies, will they hold up to that 10-year warranty on some of these batteries, these lithium batteries? So this will be my first chance to try it and see.
Yeah, I had a charger go out on me, and I called Andy, and he sent me another charger, and I don't even know if it was really the light or the charger, but it wouldn't show it was charging all 3 banks, and he sent me another one. So, but that's the only deal I've had with them. But I'm sure some of the sales are going to start going out. But hey, they're pretty tough because, like I said, you don't hear of nobody sending one back. I mean, as many people as we know that fish, and so that's great. I speak for all companies,
I had to leave my phone number and get them to call me back. They call me back within 30 minutes, so that's good. So I'm hoping the whole experience is going to be good. But I will say this: I took the batteries out of my little boat, lead acid batteries, put them in the boat, and I went fishing this morning. And when you're running, looking for schools, looking for suspended fish, that's all I did today. I might have fished one piece of structure. The rest of it was just open water. I was gassing on them, and those lead acids, they just can't do it compared to that lithium. When I got done, I had pretty much smoked those batteries, those lead acid batteries.
Oh yeah. They were probably running hot by the time you got done, buddy.
Yeah,
I guarantee you. But hey, but overall, I mean, I know JC and them's running some batteries. He's got, I don't even know what brand they are. He's got several of them he's running. I forget what kind they are. He'll comment. He's watching. He runs several of those in his boat.
a lot of people run those Ys, WEI.
Yeah, I know some people run from Amazon. I don't know if that's it.
Yeah.
Java, there it is. Jameson's watching. I know he's running one, and then he's got a spare in his boat also. So
I think that's what I'm gonna do. If they send me this battery back, I kind of got a plan on what I'm gonna do.
Well, I saved that 50, and I actually there it is. Jameson said $189 for 4 years. He's had it for 4 years. I'll be dang.
That's pretty strong.
I know. I was on his boat. Neil and I was fishing with him. He was like, "Hey, that's what he's running on his live scope and his black box and all." So,
I mean, for people that don't do this, it's a good tip to have on your boat. I keep a multimeter on my boat all the time because if something does go wrong and I have to move some stuff around, I keep a multimeter, a cheap tool set, and Phillips head, that sort of stuff on my boat, just in case something goes wrong. There's no need in driving away to go on a fishing trip. Say I left here and went 2 hours away from home, something simple I could fix right quick and swap some stuff around on my boat. Why not have stuff to do it,
Yeah, we got some good questions popping up. But yeah, I mean, everybody's going to the lithium batteries, and some people, I guess, heck, we've been running them a little while now. I guess 2 or 3 years. I guess normally everybody's been running them. So
that one I had for 3 years. The one that I had to do claim on.
Yeah, I don't know. When they say 10-year warranty, I don't know if it's prorated or what. After 5 years, it's prorated. I don't know. My cranking battery, I know it's a 5-year warranty on it. So Tim Pentecost said he's got him some glasses. I can see the lines on the road of speed limits now. That's good for Tim.
If anybody's ever been around him, I can see him right now. He'll do that back and forth when somebody needs them.
Yeah. Let's see. Blake McDaniel, he's always tuning the show. Y'all got any advice on helping me see my jig? That's a good question because we get it a lot, for sure.
One of the common problems people have is if they're losing that jig like 20 feet in, is their transducer's not seeing past the trolling motor. I found that a lot. Everybody had the 0 degree mount. Everybody wanted to go to that 0 degree mount and get away from the 8 degree mount. And they put it on the shaft, and they're losing the jig from around 22 feet in, and it's because the beam's not passing the trolling motor head. So that could be your problem. You might not have your gain hot enough. when you go to setting that gain, some people want a real clear screen. The hotter you put the gain, the easier it's going to be to see your jig as well as putting your color gain on up. But I like to set my gain by just keep increasing it until I get some grain in the screen. And when you start getting that grain in the screen, get it as hot as you can take it. Other than that, I'd be glad to work with you and try to help you on it, Blake.
I'd FaceTime him, Blake, because some people have it too high on the trolling motor shaft. Some people don't have it kicked up at the right angle, and they only see it right here, right there at it, and you run into that a lot. Then you can go over the settings with him, but I will tell you this: I'm still getting used to that 34 transducer as tight as it is, even this evening. I mean, when I go to pitch straight right or something, I got to be pretty accurate with it, So, but hey. The good thing is, like y'all say, when that jig's bright and that fish is bright, you're on him. I mean, ain't no ifs and buts about it. He's going to see your jig. So
it makes you realize a lot of times when you thought you were on those fish that you really weren't.
Well, I would throw that 32 and they just sitting there like this, don't even act like they see my jig. I'm like, well, you sucker. And then, now with this one, if everything's bright, I can see just a little bit of my jig faded. I know I'm to the right or left of it. But I will say that the 34 is clear to me. It's pretty, it's real accurate. I mean, for sure. When I throw out there 40 feet, man, I can see that jig just as fast when it's falling. I'm looking forward to chasing these fish in this open water. But
I'm doing those long distance phone calls this morning.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
50, 45 feet.
Oh, yeah, man, that's fun, And, when they get hotter, John, and where them crappie lean back, it's so fun, to throw out there and watch them lean back. And it's just the start of it. I guess it really kind of starts now a little bit, and then October. And then November really is getting down. The water gets back in the 60s and 50s. But that's got a lot to do with it, Blake. If I was you, like I said, you're welcome to message him or call him or FaceTime him. Make sure you got all the settings right and your transducer right, and then you can go, because you will handicap yourself. Believe me, easy to do, big time. James Trott said, "What size bird do I need to buy to use this Ultrex eye pilot?" Go ahead,
James. I don't use the iPilot. The Ultrex, if you were going to start trolling or something again, you want to run a contour line, you might want to do that. I don't currently use the transducer that's in my Ultrex because I don't want that sonar interference in the front of my boat. My Ultrex has got mega, side imaging in the bottom of it, and I don't even have it plugged in because the more sonar flash you put at the front of your boat, the worse your forward facing picture is going to be.
Oh yeah, I noticed when I was in Grenada fishing close to JC and them, you could see like Saturn rings coming, and that was somebody else's transducer.
Yeah,
like, whoa, check this out.
And then, if it's coming off the bottom of that trolling motor and you're having to shoot the other beam through it, it's kind of like when you've got people running two sonar beams at the front and they aim on toward each other. You'd always be shooting through the one that's on the bottom of the trolling motor. If you had your forward facing sonar on the shaft of the trolling motor.
Gotcha. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have any experience with it, James, so I can't help you there for sure. So Randy's got a good question too. Will it hurt the unit or black box when the voltage gets down to 10.8?
No, it'll stop itself. You'll get an alarm.
It was alarm coming. Alarm goes off 11.5, right?
I think he's right. The alarm goes off maybe at 10.8.
Maybe. I know you get a low voltage alarm. I've seen people post stuff where it's got 9 volts, but as long as it ain't your cranking battery, so I don't know. I know you probably lose some detail, wouldn't you, John?
Well, it starts dragging, and I mean, I got a good friend of mine. He showed up twice for me to help him with his electronics,
That's right.
and both times the battery was still on his boat. I turned his stuff on. It's like beep, beep. I'm like, come on, dude, take it time. He's like, it must be that charger. I'm like, God. I said, I'm gonna bring the multimeter on your boat.
Yeah. I had nothing more frustrating getting somewhere and your battery be. I don't miss anything about lead batteries because of that reason. I would have a guide trip or something going on, and I'd pull up there and take off and just prop spinning like this. Man, I charged it all night. Battery cells going out. Here we go. Let's go to town. So,
What's bad is he's got lithiums, but I said it earlier. It's a real smart idea to put a multimeter on your boat just to stab your batteries or whatever problem you got. You can get one from Harbor Freight for like $12. So.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. They kind of let you know it's time to go get a new battery. Whole car is tuned in.
You can just troubleshoot so much stuff while you're on the water.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, like you said, you get a fuse went out or anything. It's not getting power there. It's getting power where it's easy to trace. So I had an adventure this morning. Scott Ackerman called me. I was warming up some wings to care for them for lunch, and he goes, "Hey man, you got some pliers or some dikes?" And I was like, I opened a drawer, and Joe Allen had a pair of dikes right there in the drawer. He said, "Man, my wife's got puppies, and one of them's got a dang treble hook through his nose." And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." So I get over there, and the puppy's calm as it can be, and it's got a rattle trap, and that thing is all the way through. Thank goodness. Puppy was calm, and I reached up there, and I had to squeeze pretty good. Cut the hook, slipped it out. Puppy took off.
Wow.
I was glad it didn't hook the other in its body. So
you better be glad I want a cat.
Man, oh yeah, I had to carry some welding gloves over there. So, but that was interesting, cutting a hook out of a dog. But hey, puppy was fine. Like I said, I just slipped it right back out, and luckily he had some dikes here but I had to go at it pretty hard a couple times to get it to cut that hook. Them treble hooks pretty stout.
Wow.
I got to thinking about it. I was looking in that drawer. Let's see. What do y'all mount? What do y'all mount the LVS transducer, the barrel or the shaft? That's a good question too, Rob.
Oh, that is a great question. I've messed around with both of them. You're gonna have a little bit more offset if you put it, on the barrel. Earlier, I said the head. I meant the barrel, but we've both got it on the shaft. But the challenge of putting on the shaft is getting it away from the barrel so you're not having interference.
Yeah, I played with mine, John. I should have bought a 57-inch shaft, and I bought a 50 when I got my boat. And if myself's up there, you hit a wave, that transducer wants to rise. With two people, it doesn't do it. But I slid mine down a little bit closer to my barrel, and it's been doing fine. But
to combat that, if you'll buy you a fish obsessed mount,
that's what I'm running,
and it'll get it out forward, and you can still run a 0 degree. And I have nothing but great things to say about it.
Yeah, I've knocked the fire out of that, Rob. I'm talking about, I've knocked that thing where it come up looking all twisted and hit a stump running 2 or 3 mile an hour, and they're tough, and they got a spring inside of them, Rob, and it actually clicks, and then you can straighten it up, and you don't want to leave it not super tight on your shaft. That way it can knock it around. You'll look over there in that transducer before. You'll be, hey, those, it's called Fish Obsessed. I bought a 0 degree. That's a great mount. I mean, I guess, that they were on back order a little bit. And maybe they've called up now. I hope they have. But I wish I had the link to it. Maybe somebody can type it in, but it's Fish Obsessed. Make sure you order the right one, 434 transducer and, a Garmin. Don't click in there and mess around and get a Lowrance or something, because then you'll be calling them back. So, but yeah, maybe somebody.
I just called them, got them on the phone. I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah, I had to order. Since I went to the 34, I had to order another block, and but here I'm telling you, I've enjoyed that mount. I've had it for a while. It takes a beat.
They're not cheap, but it's well worth it. you know, for what you get, and to me it's the best one out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody's running them. Man, that's a great question. How often do you check the bearings on your trailer?
All right. So I've heard a bunch of different thoughts on this process.
Right.
I've heard some people say 30,000 miles.
Right.
I cannot make myself do that. I mean, the worst thing you can think about in the world would be, you know, going somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And you're not just, I mean, say it's a Sunday, you're not just going to find something to fix that quick, you know. But so I bought this new trailer from that we got on our boat sitting on from AMW Trailer out of Panama City.
Mm-hmm.
They sold me a whole hub kit, a spindle, and everything. I can pull everything off that race, and with taking one nut off, tighten it back down good, and be ready to roll, just like changing a tire.
I've got
the hub, everything.
That's the way to buy the whole hub assembly, guys. That way you're not packing bearings. It's pre-greased. It will get you to where you're going, and you can fill it up with grease. My old Express had Vortex hubs. That's what's on my new boat. I've got 2 spare hubs. I've got one of those wedges that you drive up on instead of running a jack. I forget what that thing's called. It's just a little ramp of floor jack. Mine are supposed to be 5 year, 100,000 miles. You're not supposed to touch them, but you do have to put the same Mobil 1 grease in them, or it will avoid the warranty. So I'll probably do mine this year. You know, I try not to mess with them too much. But the Vortex got the big cap that screws in, and it seals it, and then you can. But you know that back bearing. Every time I put grease in them, I'm really unsure if that back bearing ever gets any grease, because you know it does go through the spindle. But I tell you, those whole bearing kits, the whole, like you said, a whole hub assembly, that's the way to buy. I've got 2 in my boat. And that, you know, if you ever run into like you said, you're 20 minutes and you're gone. I mean, it takes you long to get the tire off than to put that in and tighten it up and put the pin through it, you know?
Yeah, when I was there, I just told him, I said, look, I want the whole everything. If something goes out, he said, you don't have to worry about this for a while. I said, but I will be worried about it.
Yeah, you know, there's just like my buddy, that's a mechanic, says, you can't change your oil enough. You can't grease your bearings enough. You can't. You can't, you know, you can put too much in it, but as far as, you know, you think about it, like I change my oil in my boat, you know, about twice a year and a foot twice a year. Do I have to? Do I need to? But I do run the crap out of it. And, you know, you just can't change it enough. It's definitely not going to hurt anything. And same way with these bearings. If you're in a lot of grit in the sand that you know of at your launch, or you're going down a dirt road a lot or something, you know, for miles or whatever, dealing with a lot of mud at these launches, you may want to do that. But I'll tell you, I've seen more people leave their trailer in the water. Like this guy up here, he used to own Blazer boats. His name's Keith. He has a place up here. I've seen him leave them $100,000 boat trailer, you know, the boat and trailer, leave the trailer in the water all day. And you're like, man, why don't you just pull it out? You know, you're letting water get in between those gaps of just crazy stuff. And I think he's retired and sold the company, but I thought, man, why are you leaving the boat trailer in the water? I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to leave it in there to get the rust and everything else in them, but everybody's got their stuff. I guess there's, like Tim Pentecost said, some of these Rangers and stuff have oil baths in them. You know, they'll be a little greasy, then they'll turn to straight oil when they get hot. But heck, man, I don't know. If you can think about it, I don't know. Get it on a maintenance schedule, whatever. I mean, you sure don't want to be changing that thing out. But like, I pulled the heck out of my trailer. I put a set of tires on it already, and it's barely 2 years old.
I usually, after I get done with my first set of tires on my boat trailer, I'll put car tires on it.
Right. That's what, that's a good subject coming up. I put some 8-plies on it, John, because I'm pulling to Florida, and I'm worried about heat. Instead of 6-plies, I put 8s on it. I guess it really just, like Jameson said, it depends on how much you pull it. If you're not going but right down the hill, 15, 20 minutes, but like me, I'm 4 hours it to Florida. And we could talk about that trip this weekend too. I'm going down there a good bit. But when you're sitting there in August, you're thinking about that stuff. July and August, you're like, you look back there and that thing be glowing red.
Oh, they've got those monitoring systems now. It takes a temperature reading of the air that's in that tire. It lets you know if that hub's heating up.
Right.
When Ray and I were fishing in Kentucky, it also gives you the pressure of the tire.
Nice.
It reads it back on your trailer now, just like your vehicle does.
Cool.
And, we were going that first morning and got a low tire pressure alarm went off on those sensors, and we pulled over. Sure enough, one of those valve stems was leaking, and we changed it. And we're back rolling again.
Yeah, I run 60 pounds of air in my tires, and reason being, I noticed when I ran 40, 45, John, that the inside would wear on them pretty bad because, and I started running 60 pounds. I think max is 65, so I started running 60 in them. They were low. If this temperature change is going to make them low again, so I have to check them periodically for sure. Yeah, that's what mine are. 8-ply. I don't even know what kind they are. They wasn't real bad. I think I paid $300 for all 4 of them. So, but hey, I guess it just depends on. There's no set way to how much you want to do it. I guess, like I said, you can't do it enough. And, like Tim said, he had this for 10 years in his old boat and never touched them. I
mean, you said Jameson's gonna start. Jameson Carr's gonna start running some trips up on.
Yeah.
Putting on structure and stuff. And
I've got his card right here, guys. I'll tell you a little. JC is a great guy. Met him a few years ago. He guides in Grenada. Let me get rid of this comment here. He guides in Grenada a good bit. I fished with him a couple weeks ago. He's fixing to start running some trips on Lake Tuscaloosa. There's really nobody that guides there at all. A lot of people don't fish there, and there's a lot of good fish there. They've been working their tail off putting out brush and stuff, and I've got his card right there. Even though it don't say Lake Tuscaloosa on there, that's where he's guiding there. You get a hold of JC if you want to go anywhere around Tuscaloosa. It's easy to get to. Plenty of places to stay there. It's a beautiful lake. Hopefully, there's some big fish down there too. I remember John's been on my butt about going down there a good bit because one of your buddies caught some big fish there.
Oh yeah, I've looked at that lake. I see some really good areas. I'm sure JC's he's putting structure out. And I mean he looks for. I mean he's fished enough. He looked for some of the same things we look for on a map. And I've seen some places where I would put some stuff. I'll just say.
Oh yeah, he told me he's put 28 brush piles out. So he's already putting in the work, guys. Where you can go down there and have a good time. They've been catching some limits. He's ran several trips there, but he called me and said, "Hey man, I want you to kind of push some trips." And I said, "Hey, we'll say something about it on the show." And Jameson's one of them guys give his shirt off his back. So I mean he definitely will. So if you want to book a trip with him, JC call you. Like I said, maybe he'll say his fishing page in here. He's a character now, so you're gonna get entertained. So for sure, we appreciate old JC. Crappie Crane, he said, when fishing tournaments, I'm learning that certain areas of the lake hold better fish. What features or characteristics contribute to this, John? That's a great question.
Wow,
that's a real good question.
Very broad topic.
Yes.
So fall and winter, if the lake or the channel's not blown out, I like to hang around that channel edge. It seems to me that we have done better, Jessica and I have, around channel edges. Stumps on ledges, things like that. It seems like the better fish often hang there. When you go to sliding up, off of it sometimes. Now, this is all dependent upon water flow and what type of fish you've got in there. But those big black crappie will get out of those ledges on those deeper stumps. And they might be there one day, and the next day they might be out there roaming, chasing
True.
shad, flats, or schooled up. But the best success we've had has been on those ledges. But it's dependent upon the time of the year.
Do you find, John, that when you find a couple good fish on a certain stump inside of a point or something, that's what you go back towards? You go try to find another point. You try to repeat that, or you just really covering water, or are you just like, hey man, I caught a 220 right here on a bend of the creek channel, right here by some standing timber, and some, you try to repeat that pattern up and down the, lake, or you just concentrate in that area? Are you going to go back and stop by that area again if you caught a good fish?
I'm certainly going to try to replicate, other things on the map. So like, say the first day you're there practicing, and you run up on something, and then that night you get back, you're going to try to find other places like that. But you're also going to look at what type fish you think are going to weigh in heaviest. If you've got hybrid crappie, white crappie, black crappie in a lake.
Oh yeah, that's a big factor too.
Try to, go to those areas where those guys are going to be. Like right now, if say you're fishing a tournament like this weekend on the Coosa chain, it's going to be tough. Those fish are still acting rough.
Oh yeah, they still got a bad attitude for sure.
We're talking Lay Lake, Lake Jordan, Logan Martin.
Oh yeah.
Neely Henry. The scales haven't flipped in the fisherman's favor yet.
No, they have not. They're still giving you.
What I would do in that instance would be maybe trying to slide up to maybe a little bit shallower stuff. The deeper stuff's probably not popping yet. The fish might be there, but they're not biting.
Oh yeah, they.
I mean, I'd see it hard to catch a fish that's 16, a big fish 16 feet deep on some of those lakes. But I might be wrong. Somebody will probably come on here and say they're stroking them in that depth. But yeah. I was fishing there. I've got a picture reminder from last year. I was fishing up at Lake, and I remember how I could see some big fish, and I couldn't do anything with them.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's I guess they just feed. You got a full moon going on right now. They feed all night. I mean, it's so bright out there. It's crazy. You got a lot of factors against you right now, but it starts, like October, November, it starts leaning towards us. They start, eating a little more, start chasing bigger baits, and it just puts a lot of factors in your arsenal. When you're able to start throwing a little bit bigger baits, it's, to me, you can cover water a little faster. When you can throw that eighth and really get down to them and see what they're going to do and move on, it's fun. We went to Lake Talcon this weekend, and we went downriver, guys, and I'm talking about seeing thousands of fish, and I'm not exaggerating. And they had such a bad attitude downriver. And I told John, it's so funny. We come back upriver, and Tommy had already caught his limit, and the water just had a little bit more stain in it. Not much. I'm talking about 3 or 4 inches. And we got up there and ended up catching, 40 fish, almost our limit, and found a lot of big stumps. I guess the boss just got home.
Yeah, they just can't.
Jessica got home. She got home late, guys, but we ended up catching a bunch of fish. I shared that picture on my page, on the fishing page, and had a bunch of fish. Didn't catch a lot of big ones, just a bunch of 10, 12 inchers. Had a blast, but it's amazing that you can go down river and those fish aren't biting, and you can go up river and they're biting. And it won't be every stump. You'll find one stump, but one of those stumps, those fish will be active, and you'll crack 10 or 15, and then you're just going to be looking at 200 or 300 of them after that. So, and it's frustrating. It's fun and frustrating at the same time. So, I mean, you're running into those packs you've seen today. You said there were 3 and 4 fish in a pack, and I don't know how many of them you were catching.
I try to start at the top and catch the top one, and then go not mess them up. But
right,
water was kind of clear where I was at, and if one of those bottom ones saw it and they it messed the whole. I mean,
oh yeah, it busted up, huh?
But there was a couple times there'd be two of them. I'd catch the top one, then throw it back, and then catch the bottom one, or the one that was left, and that's kind of cool to me, when you can see two fish and catch both of them.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun when those things are just hovering. In the winter, guys, they look just like that. That's how fast they're moving, and that's when you can punch them, buddy. Especially if they're moving away from you, hit that front fish. John and them taught me that. You can hit that front fish, that whole school will turn around and come right back at you. You'll just see the skeleton of, the outline of those fish. They'll be kind of going away from you, and all you can see is his back and his stomach. And when you throw that jig and hit in front of him, he's going to spin around, and here it comes. He'll bite it and lead the whole school back to you.
Man, I was making a good video yesterday. I was going to make one just side imaging, throwing a buoy marker and going back catching fish. So I did the side imaging, mark the spot, and come back over it with down imaging through the buoy marker, and my daggone GoPro died. It was so bad. It went beep, 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 and died. First cast, bam, popped.
Oh, yeah.
Fish. And I said, well, I'll get to do this again later. But, we have so many people come on here and I ask, y'all always talking about live scope. Or so I was going to try to do a video, showing how to do it,
Old school. That's what we call it. I mean, that's what it's called now. I mean, that's the only word, hey, pre-2019 or 18, that's what we did,
But it was my fault. I didn't charge. Now I've got them both charged up.
So. There you go. Well, you can repeat it and make a good video of it. There's an art to that, guys. Throwing that buoy out right behind the boat, right when you see it. You don't want to throw it right on the pile. You want to throw in there and find out where they are. There's an art to that stuff.
The only fail I had in it was when I threw it, I hit the power pole. So it's like
ding, ding, ding.
Like, ding, and we're not worried about that. It still went down, I think, where it should have gone. So
right.
I had all my screen covers, all my stuff up front. I was, thinking about it before I did it, but that's the way. If you ever want something to go wrong, turn that GoPro on.
Hey, like I went live in Florida, and as soon as I turned it on, we caught a few fish, but I went live and they locked down on me. I was like, well, as soon as I go live, tangled up with each other, me and Harold, you know how that goes. You're going to twist up, and you're cutting and fussing. So that's true too, Mitch. No, John, if you want to go wrong, go to the tournament. You're exactly right.
Yes.
100%, Mitch. No doubt. Clint wants to know how DC was.
It was a lot of fun. Jessica about walked me to death.
Yeah, she was eating that up, buddy.
Yes, every museum this, museum that, monument this. We did a bunch of stuff in a small amount of time. I don't think we were there long enough for her, but we had a big time. Yeah,
you were delivering to a boat in Georgia, then one in Virginia, so y'all just took advantage and went to DC, huh?
Oh, that museum of American history, you could spend probably a whole day in there if you wanted to.
I'm going to pass this question to Kobe Lee. How wide is a fish of Seth mount? Will it fit a Tarova? I don't.
Okay.
I think that's the one you got to have the mount.
Here's the challenge with that Tarova is I'm not a big Tarova fan. I just start off with that. It's got this block and this thing that assists you to pull it back in. A Tarova, Minn Kota Tarova does, and you're limited at the bottom of it to what you can put on there because it has that block that slides the I guess it's a spring in there back and forth. You're limited to what you can put at the bottom of it. But when you do put something down there, you've also got to have something to offset the cable away from the shaft, because that shaft slides up and down through another block at the top of it. It's really hard for me to explain that, but anyway, your cable it slide through a spirally cord that is going to go down to where your transducer is going to be. A Tarova can be a challenge.
Yeah, and you know that really it's really a trolling motor. Is that what it was? I know that's what everybody when pushing jigs and pulling jigs. That was a lot of people using those Tarovas. I know Big Daddy had one, and I'll be honest with you. When I try to run the remote, it moves so much you couldn't feather it, you know. But yeah, that's exactly right. Cornfield crappie does have a mount that sticks off of it. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah. It's got what it is. It's a piece of spiraled tubing they have cut.
Yes.
Transducer cable inside of it, and it allows it to stick away from the shaft. So when you're letting that trolling motor in and out and it's sliding, what it is, there's a block at the top that actually turns the motor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not cable driven, it's just servo driven. But you can do it. But if you want to go with a transducer on the trolling motor shaft, eventually you're gonna have to save your coin and try something. Go with
Here's the thing, Colby. We try to be as honest as we can be on this show. You get even a 4-Trex. And the old 4-Trex, that's what I run. You can feather that thing with your foot and put it right dead on that fish, just a little bit, and it's just that Tarova just moves and jumps so much. Now, if you get on a pile anchored in a brush pile, maybe, but man, I tell you, I'm not saying you're handicapped, but it is challenging. I will tell you that.
It was great. Now, if you were pushing or pulling jigs,
oh yeah, Lord, yeah,
that cruise control on that thing, and as long as you didn't get a going downwind and the wind was too stiff behind you, it was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. You drop that motor one time, that wire, exactly. You have to be real careful with your transducer cable and everything, man. You'll be calling old Joe at the transducer doctor.
Yeah. The first one I messed up, that was the call.
Oh, yeah. That is. Look at Rob talking about CrappieKast camp number 3. I don't know. We ain't really hadn't even started, but I sure do enjoy those things, though, man. I hope we can do one this fall. I really do.
I feel like I saw Rob on the lake the other day.
Did you? I'd like to do another one. Just need to really pick somewhere, and hopefully the fish are biting, and everybody can have some fun. We need to do another one though. We went to Eufaula, and that was a good place. I enjoyed going down there. A lot of fish. Golly. That was the last one we done. When was that? June we did that? When was it, John? June. Yeah, it was June. It was June.
It was hot.
It was hot. It was June. I remember it was June. So we done one here at Miller's Ferry, right here at Bridgeport. Like I said, the fishing, it's been odd here this year. I mean, just weird year. The fish is still about, out and about, but it's just so they're just 2 years ago I was smashing them, and I went and checked those places. I talked to John the other day. I went and checked the places, and catch a handful of fish where I was catching 30 and 40. So it's weird, I guess if you ever figure that out, you'll be on top of things if you could ever figure out where they go and what they do. So.
Yeah, I was about to strike out, headed that way, and he gave me the bad report.
Yeah, well, I don't want anybody calls me, hey man, I'm not gonna sit there and BS you and say, hey, there's people that can catch them up and down this river, but there's a lot of good fishermen that I know that come here, and it's just been kind of slow, and that's all you can say. Derek Howard, on Tom Bigby, 2 days ago before the water shot up, they smashed them down there, somewhere around Coffeyville, don't know exactly where. Then the water shot up 10 foot, on him. There's a lot of fish, man, from here down that way, on Tom Bigby and stuff. Miller Ferry's got a lot. So
we're gonna get Derek and Scott on here in the next.
Yeah, we're gonna get them on here, man. I ate lunch with Scott the other day, and man, he's such a good guy, and he's positive, and talk to him, man. He's just good. When you start talking to Scott and Derek and them, you just they're just such positive people. You know, he gets fired up, and then that fires me up, and we're sitting there eating lunch, and he was telling me about the Nashville tournament, and he can tell us about it and how rough it got on him and stuff. And we'll try to get him on here. Maybe we can get him on here if he's out in town next week, maybe.
Sounds good.
I'll talk to him. He's tuned in tonight, so. Yeah, that's Bill Lolly Jr. There he is. He said it's been tough on the ferry for you. I guess it's been tough on everybody, Bill. I mean, you know as much stuff as I know here, man. I caught 5 or 6 fish. You know, I'll tell you straight up. And then I go back and they're gone. So I need to see that new boat, Bill. We were just talking about that today. I ain't seen any pictures. I ain't seen him on the water.
He sent me some via text.
He's been like 007. He's been incognito. So. But yeah, that's exactly right, Mitch. It is September, guys. So you know, we you can't rush it, and when it comes, and you can. Hey, the good Lord willing, He's got His time, and I promise you.
Mitch, me and you buddies now. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not fussing about September. I have been busting on.
Yeah, John, around John's area in north, he sure has.
It's been good. So we're not going to fuss one bit.
No.
Thank
like
you.
I said, I will say this, Mitch, and I will agree, and John agree. River systems in September, it is tough. Sorry. Yeah. You know, river systems, I promise you it is. I'm going to try to go to Demopolis this weekend. We got that outage going on. I'm going to try to go over there maybe Sunday. Hopefully I can go over there and check those places. So. Bill said he's been working at the hunting club for weeks. He's getting ready for deer season. It ain't hard, Bill. Just throw some corn out, man. You know, I mean. Hey, that is work, buddy. Cutting the fields and getting them ready to plant. And all for a silly deer. I know. I've been there, Bill.
I was talking to little Floyd today. He said he's over the deer. He's still going to plant some stuff, but he's a fisherman now.
Yeah, I got the dove hunt with David the other day, man. We had a good time. Boss man had a dove hunt for Rayco, and David came up. We had a good time. Ate good, killed a bunch of birds, had some fun. But it is coming. You know, we try to keep y'all current and up to date, and you know, we're trying not to, you know, get everybody. Like I said, I know Miller's very slow. I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody. You know, when I catch 30, I'll be just as fired up as I was, 2 years ago. So it's coming, but Florida's been good to me. Like John, it seems like John's area down. It really, those fish really. It's so funny when they say they're 2 or 3 weeks ahead of us, even in spawn, and that's the way they stay. You know, it's kind of weird. You know, the way that works out.
Well, I'm about, 3-4 weeks away from going down to my favorite spot. Yeah,
it's coming.
I want to go. I don't know.
He wants to go. I know where he's talking about going, guys. Hey, it's the same area down there, and those few lakes down there are fun. But you're right. Hey, when them bigger fish move on that stuff, that's when it's on. I mean,
Jessica's got a work trip coming up, and I think we got to leave maybe next Sunday for it. So,
right.
Probably gonna mess the next weekend up. So I don't know. I might have to just shuck out during the.
He's gonna go down there and get him some $60 a night down there.
I can't beat it. I found a place cheaper than that.
Man, I tell you, really.
Yes.
I tell you, that's hard to beat that hotel.
I'm not publicizing it. I am not.
We all went down there, guys. We had a herd down there. We had a good time. Hey, that's a good lake, man.
Yeah. What? Oh. Yep.
Mitch calling you out.
We have been apart for too long.
Yeah, you haven't been down there. You and Jessica have been down there in a month, maybe.
Yes, I know. And normally it's at least once a month.
She caught that 222 down there, 220 or something. And
yeah, it's summertime, big fish.
That's a huge fish. Yeah, Stump City. That's what Chad said, Stump City. Yeah, it's amazing how those lakes got flooded. All those lakes down there, you know. Yeah, Mark Bowling, I did hear about. I heard James Spann debunk that hurricane they're talking about next week, coming up through. You heard about that, John?
I don't watch.
Somebody was talking about it in the mill because we got this outage going on, and I heard James Spann kind of blew it back off, so I haven't kept up with it. But Mark Bowlin's another guy that fishes up here a lot, hell of a fisherman. And
hey, I will say this about James Spann. He has some of the most dedicated followers.
Oh, they'll kill you. They'll cut your throat over here.
Yes, if somebody says something about him making a bad forecast, that his people would just like attack him.
Oh, hey, he'll jump on you, pun.
Gosh,
James Spann's up there in my area, and he's like legend. So
I know, and my sister's one of them. I'm like, golly.
Oh man, he gets down them suspenders, son. It's serious.
I don't even think about making a joke about it because you get throat cut.
Yeah. Hey, you see, Ashley's trying to stir your lake up, John. She's talking about trying to do CrappieKast down there. You see her right there?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Well,
if we do, John and Jessica will be back at 9 o'clock so they can cook breakfast and lunch. I'm just about to. Hey, the first trip we made down there, guys, it was funny. I'm easing out there, and Kevin Hicks and John, they gone.
I told this. I said, "You ready to go?" He's over there doing a video or.
Tell him I can't remember what I hate. Let me tell you, hey, that thing has got some stumps in it. John was boom. Anyway, it was 10 o'clock. They're back at the lunch. This is in July now. They were done. I will give them that. We caught a bunch of fish.
I said,
rode a few storms out.
Everybody ready to go. He's over there doing a video.
Hey, Card was with me. I was like, hey, what? And I said, Card, you see which way they went? They went right, and then they went left. I said, heck, I don't.
We ran the channel markers all the way out.
Oh, yeah, that is. I know it a little better now, for sure.
But that place is intimidating your first time.
It is. There, guys, look, there's some stumps, son. I'm talking about that big around by them buoys out there. I ain't exaggerating. Great lake, fertile lake, just like Lake Talcon. Got a lot of fish in it, but hey, there's some stumps. So, and then bass fishing, we were sitting there fishing, me and Corey. Corey goes, that don't sound good. I said, no, it doesn't. Me and him blew my umbrella up during that storm. That was unbelievable. The storm blew in there. I had a sport belly. It blew it to pieces. I'm talking about in a minute.
High school fishing dads, I'm like, you have no business driving your child around.
Woo!
$100,000 bass boat. Just because you could buy it don't mean you should. I mean, and when they get on a lake like that, I'm just because they don't know where they're going.
Oh, no.
But they're just running.
Oh, yeah. They're running. Great lake, though. Like I said, that would be a bad place. There's a nice pavilion right there. We have to run the Latinos off of it. They enjoy it.
I just don't know what side we do it on.
I don't know. It'd be fun to get a big group and go up there to the restaurant, though.
Yeah.
He'd like that. That's about the only. There's not many lakes you can go eat on the water anymore, man.
All right, so we're talking about Lake Seminole. I mean, we should have said that from the beginning, but anyway,
yeah.
Jessica and I love to go somewhere. You can go fishing, catch some fish, go eat, hang out, go fishing for a little while longer, then go to your hotel room, whatever, and get ready to go to dinner. I mean, it's awesome, go eat on the water.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, when we first went down that, everybody was kind of sitting out there where the two rivers meet, and Byron was like, "Let's go." We eased up in there and got in there and uh, drank a few beers and ate. It was good. Uh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Eufaula too, like Clinton saying. I enjoyed Eufaula too. Uh, didn't catch a lot of big fishing, but heck, there was a lot of fish in Eufaula, buddy. Woo! There's a lot in Seminole though. None of those, that whole chain. I guess do you follow? That's are they in the same river, John?
Yeah. All right. So
you can kind of educate us on this because
the Hooch, Chattahoochee.
Yes.
Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, Alan Jackson.
Yes.
Makes Eufaula, keeps going, and then it makes Seminole. The Flint and the Chattahoochee come together, and right there above the dam on Seminole.
Mm-hmm.
And where we go eat at is up in the Chattahoochee.
Right.
But
there you go. Mitch's West Point Harding goes down there, and then the Blackshear goes down, and the Flint comes off the Flint there.
There's another one though that's right above Eufaula. My buddy went and fished the other day and didn't do too good. Mitch,
I remember you told me the name. I said it was real clear or something, didn't you?
Yeah. Mitch? What's the one right above Eufaula? That next, like.
Yeah. I can't remember. I remember you saying I wouldn't remember the name up for nothing.
I can't either. He said, write that one off the list. But I mean, it's
yeah. I remember you saying that.
Scott.
Yeah, well, that's the no Scout. Oh, that's who it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Scott Solar. Yeah, I remember that. Goat Rock? I don't think that's the name of it. Harding? I think it was Harding.
Not Harding. It was something.
I can't remember. I remember you telling me. I'll never think of it. Heck.
I won't either. Oh. They got their FFL approval.
Oh, good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
They're in the business.
Good. You'll be able to order guns through them.
Yep. They're going to do shows on the weekends and stuff, but
that's good, man. Good people. Congratulations to them. So you said Dee's been doing it a while though, right? She's been involved in it.
She was in sales for a wholesale distributor for years, and so it was already right up her alley. She knows guns as well as any man you'll run across. I mean, you name a model of a gun or something like that, she's sharp on it. So you get ready to order from her, you better have your mess together because she.
Oh, Corey, I want to go to Clark's Hill. I'm gonna hit Corey up. I'm going to Clark's Hill. I want to go up there in February. Them giants up there. I was thinking of Clark's Hill.
Shane, those lakes over there are huge.
Oh, I know. That lake's a monster. I mean,
Oconee's big. All of them are big.
Yeah, I know. Corey fishes Oconee a good bit. Yeah. He had some fish. I still don't know the name of that lake. We'll look it up. Maybe next show we can come out with it. Because I remember you telling me the lake. It was super. It seemed like it was clear or something, or maybe.
Yeah, Scott said it was really clear. Which I mean, a lot of lakes get clear, but when they get
they name it a bunch of lakes. Lake Oliver. It's West Point.
Oliver. That's
it. Lake Oliver. There you go, Rob. He got it. There it is. He got it. So now that dilemma's over with.
Well, I think I asked one of those guys over there about it, and they didn't really act like they knew much about it. I knew that was a sign that probably buyer beware.
Yeah. Mitch said he's getting ready for Ocoee. I guess the Peach State's having their tournament. They got their tournament trail. I seen where Scott and them posted it the other day. Scott Williams and them.
Mitch, y'all gonna have one on Seminole? Is the Peach gonna have one on Seminole this year?
I can't remember. I seen it posted. I know they got Talcon. They may have one on Seminole. I'll have to look on my phone.
Mitch probably know.
Yeah, he know. I just seen it. Matter of fact, I'll look it up real quick before we jump off of here. There you go. CrappieKast camp at Neely Henry. Yeah, that's an idea. I know y'all love that place.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
We're gonna do some video here in the next week of that new 20-foot stick steer boat. Man.
Yeah, from Andalusia. Yes, y'all, that's interesting, guys. I'm glad you brought it up.
It's short. I mean, golly, I'm tickled with it. Stick steer boat, you can fish 2 people from the front. You know.
Let's look it up here. Let's see. I seen that schedule somewhere. They run a real good tournament trail. There it is. Let me tell. We're gonna tell them right now. There's a schedule. All right, October. They're going 19th at Coney. November Eufaula. December Talcon. Sinclair. January, February Clark's Hill. I don't see Seminole on there. The Classic will be at Talcon. They're going to Eufaula, but not. There it is. I'll try to share it on here. But yeah, they run a good tight ship, man.
I was going to swing back through Seminole. That might have been we might have done a tournament then.
Oh yeah, I know y'all love that place, and you know y'all really do. Y'all catch a lot of fish there. I'm no kidding. I mean y'all catch a lot of fish there. Nothing wrong with it at all. So we'll figure something out. I mean, October, November be a good month to do it because as long as you don't have any wind or bad weather, I like it. I like cooking fish, and you know when it's cooling, you got a hoodie on, and we'll have to plan something. We'll have to ask the boss. Maybe she can figure it out. So. She's running around there, getting late.
And there's
oh yeah, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We done been on here an hour. Appreciate all y'all bringing the questions about trailers and all kinds of stuff. That kind of helps the show go on for sure. Hopefully we'll have some more fishing reports to talk about and have some fun. Everybody have a safe weekend. Looks like it's going to be hot. We still got a couple of hot days here. Feels great in the morning, hot as you know what in the evening. So let's see. Aubrey said, how hard is it to get a permit to put out brush piles in Alabama? Zero, Aubrey.
Hey,
Zero, my buddy.
Get after it.
Get after it, Aubrey. I'm telling you, hey, I've had the game warden pull up beside me when I'm throwing stuff out, man. They're not, you know.
If it's like say like a Power South Lake or Alabama Power Lake, they encourage you to put it out safely. Where like if a skier failed or something like that,
yes,
they would be injured. So yeah, please come to Alabama, put out brush piles.
Yeah, come on. There, you can't put out enough. I'm going to start making some stake beds down here at Joe Allen's. For sure. You can't have enough out. I mean, they say Kentucky Lake's got more stake beds and more stuff in it than you can ever see. I mean, I've never been up there, but
I know
I heard it does.
Old Hickory's got a bunch of them up
there. Yeah, and you talk to Eric, and I was talking to Jameson earlier. He was talking about running guide trips on Tuscaloosa. Eric's got 300-something brush piles out down there. I mean, that's crazy. That's a lot of brush piles.
Well, we're starting to get a little infestation in my grandmother's cow pasture of popcorn trees. This winter, when the leaves get off of them,
kabook.
That ain't right. That could be. I've already seen the proof is in the pudding.
They do good. I know you told me about those. You have to post a picture of that and talk about that. So,
heck yes.
Yeah, we'll have to share that on the show for sure. Let's get off here. Let everybody go eat and all that good stuff. I know I got to eat. I'm hungry right now. So appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning in, man. We had 60, 70 people on here. This show always does good. Always have the same people on here. We appreciate all y'all. Got a bunch of new people following us. Hey, guys, if you go to Shane Jones Fishing and tap those 3 dots on the right, invite your friends. Let's make this thing blow up. We're working on 11,000 followers, but hey, we want to keep this thing going and get it bigger and bigger. And that way, if we ever do try to help some charity or something, anything, hey, it's got a big platform. So If you catch any fish, send them to me. I'll post them. I'll be talking to John and hopefully have y'all some more fishing reports. And it's coming. October's coming, and hey, it'll be time to wreck some fish, catch some good fish. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you want to go Lake Tuscaloosa fishing, look, call JC. If you're going to be there for business or whatever, give him a call. I think he's wide open right now. He can book anything. Lake Tuscaloosa, beautiful lake. A lot of stuff to do. You go to a ball game and won't have something to do the next day or the next couple of days in the week, give old Jameson a call, man. Appreciate him. Let's get off here, John. Stay on here and I'll say bye to you, but we'll see y'all next week. Live, 7 p.m. CrappieKast Live next Thursday. Appreciate y'all.